Well, hi, gang. Yeah, it's Dr. Bob. And once again, I'll tell you that name was given to me by people who are doctors. I was just a lowly old gunsmith hanging out at the Academy Rifle Range. And since they fixed people and I fixed their guns, they bestowed upon me the degree of Dr. Bob. Dr. Bob, the gun doctor. I haven't lost a patient yet. We've had some real sick puppies come down the road, but I haven't lost one yet. Well, I had promised that I was going to show everybody, and boy, this is going back some months. Uh, the what I had selected is to be the 11 most significant versions of the AR-15 platform. These are models that have been adopted by the government. Some were prototypes, some were suggestions from the ordnance people to Colt. Some were Colt creations on their own. I am not Ian from Forgotten Weapons. Go look at him if you have any questions about any of these models. I'm sure you'll learn more than you want to know. And Chris, good old Chris at Small Arms Solutions. What a fountain of information. Check out Small Arms Solutions and Forgotten Weapons, because I'm just going to touch, this is just the surface here. And I'm doing a very amateurish thing. I shot some photos. We were up in the, actually it was the guest room behind the conference room or the meeting room at the academy, at the gun range. And they allowed me to open up the bed and lay down my blanket and show my 11 little creatures here. So that's what we did. We did the shoot real quick. It's not Cecil B. DeMille, and you're going to hopefully get some insight as to what we did. These are going to be wall hangers primarily, so we could walk around and say, here's how the carbine developed, here's how the rifles developed, the various time periods where they were used, Vietnam and the War on Terror and what have you, police departments, civilian life even, and we're just pointing out the main features and the changes and the design requirements that ordnance people or the Army or Marines or somebody asked for, and it happened or it didn't happen. And it hopefully will unconfuse a lot of the people. I have customers coming in that are really, really confused about, particularly today in the aftermarket. You buy an AR, you can build one of 10,000 different versions. I mean, you change hand guards and barrel length and twist rate and butt stock and, Gen 2, Gen 3, Gen 4 uppers, folding sights. I give myself a headache, I think. So we just wanted to cover the main changes, and hopefully this will sort out some of the confusion prior to the free market. Now, the free market's a whole different thing, and like I said, you go into a store and you could add and subtract all types of accoutrements, and that's French for things. For doodads. All right, so there's a shot of the bed slash futon a little farther out, and you can start picking and seeing what you could identify and what you can't. But let's go. Let's go here. Let's start here. A good place to start is with this guy. Actually, there's the A1. That was an XM16E1 when I got it. And that was, I'm thinking it was, I trained, long story short, we trained on M14s. We actually had DMR training for anybody that fired 92 or better to qualify as expert. We got some NMs, National Match 14s, and we trained on those. thousands of rounds later. And then we went to our TO&E outfits in garrison units. And 2 years later, when my orders came down for Vietnam, I got orders to report back to Fort Dix, because guess what? You got to go through jungle training. Oh, okay. And we went through jungle training, and they handed us these things. So, why did I bother with the 14? Well, I still love the 4. A lot of people don't. It's my baby. I spent 12 weeks with it, with my arms wrapped around it. So, anyhow, here's the 16 as I carried it in Vietnam. It's the A1 version. There are some things to talk about here. One is I had seen versions with both birdcage and 3-prong. I had seen versions, this is in country, in deployment, straight and angled deltas, delta ray slip rings. And you don't see the other side, but we did not have the brass deflector, but we did have the forward assist over here on the other side. And of course, this model is the correct one. It does not have the reinforced front and back on the lower. You see here, this is all cut square. And back here, there's no fillet. This is a correct lower and a correct A1 upper. There you have it, a 20-inch barrel. This sling was one of my slings in Vietnam. It's probably worth more than the stupid rifle is. We've got other pictures of the, oh no, it's the other sling that I think I mistakenly took it home with me. So I'm sure the government would have wanted it back. Nah, it was pretty shot. But I had that on my XM, and it still has red clay all stuck in it. It was never washed. We'll get to that. All right. Let's go to the A2. There you have it. Longer buttstock by 5/8 of an inch. We've got some reinforcements here. You see the rounded parts here. Still have the fixed handle, but A2 sights, adjustable windage and elevation here. I put a scope on it. There were various models the government would give you if you were a DMR. But I don't know. Bird cage, 20 inches. Yeah, nothing much to brag about. The dreaded finger notch thing there that a lot of people don't like. Some people do. I could take it or leave it. A lot of guys just file those things off. And I'm sure if you're any kind of AR fan, you will spot this thing and know what it is right away. Okay. All right, let's move down. Here's an A4. Here's an A4. How do I know it's an A4? Well, it's a flat top. You could have a fixed or collapsible stock, your choice. Up to the armorer in your outfit. A2 handguards. Guess what we stuck on there? An early version prototype 203. M203 grenade launcher. Very difficult to find handguards. I know there's repos out there now. I actually got these through an old supplier. Oh, Lord, probably 40 years ago. And the front was broke. It was crushed. So I used... Back then we were dealing with space-age plastics, also called polymers, by the way. This is back in the late 70s, early 80s. And there were various GE and DuPont, I guess, formulations. One was Zytel and the other was Velox. Today when you say polymer, you're talking about one of 100 different formulations that all fall under the polymer family. But we did have an epoxy that was good for this stuff. So I made an aluminum plug and I stuck it in the inside here. I fitted this plastic, very high density plastic piece to the aluminum. I put in some dowel pins here where the rivet holes go, and I poured the epoxy. What came out was something much stronger, heavier, and better and more durable than the original. That will not break again here. Where there is some force, I mean, it's in the It's in the plate here for the forward the handguard's forward plate. Back here, it's not so stressful because there's a lot more material, so that's good to go. I did not have the full grenade launcher sight here, just part of the base. Here's the shelf here for the for that thing when it's mounted on the side. This is an original type, although this is 37 millimeters. This is not 40, and it's an exact copy, otherwise, of the early prototype. I forget the company who made that. I can't quite make out the thing there, but it does attach to the barrel nut, not the quad rail. And of course, it has a bracket in here that attaches to the barrel, a la the M4. If you're familiar with that notch in the M4 barrel. Here's an old World War II Korean War grenade launcher, which I'm sure if you fired enough 40s out of this thing, I'm sure you could calibrate this in meters to figure out what you were doing and get a good battle sight zero. I don't see any problem with that. Otherwise, we're all A4 there on that model. Now, speak of the devil, let's open this one. There's a real A4. What's the difference? Well, it's an A2, but they took the handle away and gave you flat tops. We still have drop-in handguards, no floating handguards. I got a PEC 15 on there. I put an Atlas-type bipod. Got a red dot. The rear sights, the rear sight and front sight, the fixed front sight still on the A4. These aren't flip-ups yet. Windage and elevation here do co-witness with the red dot. So even when this is off, you can look through the lens and you can see your whatever you're looking at. And what's a little bit hidden here is a I don't know if that's a Streamlight or which model that is. Also have a little carrying handle that's hidden, mounted to the top rail. And we put in some of the rubber ladder hole filler things. I like those. They're very comfortable. It's nice to wrap your hand around them. It's very, very nice for shooting. You can move your hand all over the place, up and down, twist it around. It's fine. Fixed stock, if you want, put a collapsible one on there. La-dee-da, off to the races. 20 inches, bird cage. That's the M4. All right. Here is what I call my puppy. This is, I discovered this halfway through my deployment in Vietnam in the Central Highlands. They took away my M16 E1, and they handed me this thing I had never seen before. It was called an M177 E2. And guys, for the life of me, I don't remember if I had the 10-inch E1 or the 11.5-inch E2. I do not know. I believe it was this. This is a cheater. This is a 14.5-inch barrel. I've got to slip over a flash hider. I'd want to deal with ATF and NFA paperwork. So that's pinned and welded forever to be forever. If you break the sight, you're in trouble because you'll never be able to replace it. It's kind of like painting yourself into the corner. I have the correct Gen 1 lower. No reinforcement here and here. Gen 1 Hoosie wicket here for, I believe, no, that's 2-position adjustable. I did not change that. So it's still the same collapsible stock. This is an original Bob carried in Vietnam sling. I was offered a lot of money for that, and I forget where. It was at a gun show. I was showing this off. And I want to say a guy offered me $200. I forget. You can still see the red clay in it. Nope, it's mine. A1 upper, correct. Handguards, sort of. These are aftermarket. They're pretty darn close to the GI ones, so good enough for show and tell at the Academy. I can lie. You can swear to it, and nobody will know the difference. And that coffee is cold. All right, let me grab something here. Sorry, this is a Bob production. Let's see if we can get over to this. Okay. Model 605 out of Colt, out of Hartford, Connecticut. I don't know if the government suggested this to Colt or Colt decided, hey, let's offer it. But with the M16 in the jungle, big improvement over guys who are carrying the M14s. And I got to tell you, man, you're walking through that elephant grass or the bamboo or even the forested areas. That is a son of a gun. As much as I love the M14, and I particularly a 308 round 7.62, that Woodstock, it was just a bit much carrying all that American iron. And I was happy to go over on a C141 with an M16 A1. Somebody decided, well, let's make it shorter because the boys are complaining. We did them a favor going from 14s to 16s. Let's see if we can come up with something even better. And here they are with the still the same gas port arrangement. Here was my pointer. Way out here, and then they chopped the barrel off. I'm cheating. I'm trying to stay away from an SBR. If I go to a short barrel rifle, I got to go through all kinds of paperwork and waiting, and it's not worth it. These are, like I said, demos. So I'm lying. We have an extra inch of barrel here to make it legal. It's 16, not 15. Who cares? Do you? I don't. I have the incorrect lower. This is a reinforced lower. That's a Gen 2. So what? This is a correct upper, like it should be. It's screwed onto the barrel. The right sights, charging handle, so on. This is the correct butt. You can't see the trap door, but it has the early solid piece with no trap door. You can see that, I think, in some of my other videos. A Vietnam issued sling. Gee, I wonder how I got that. I don't know. In the full-length handguards. So I would say that the engineers at Colt or at the Ordnance Department, somebody really was taking the day off. Really, guys, that's the best you could do. You have the M16 with the 20-inch barrel. So what do? You take it home in your garage, you clamp it in a vise, you cut a few inches off the barrel, you rethread it, put the 3-prong back on, and you say, hey, look what I done. Really? It's a start. It was a thought, and I'm sure it was more appreciated than the 16. One problem? Dwell time. Here's the gas port. Here's where the bullet leaves you. That's got to be a monster gas port in order to get enough power back here to operate the BCG. I forget how. I think that's 330 seconds. I think I went out to 093. I might have gone to 101. I'm not sure. It functions. So from here to here, I get enough oomph to cycle with a standard weighted buffer. All right. Here's something that I think was one of my craziest efforts. This guy took me a while to produce. I did it over the winter of 2001 and 2. I'm trying to collect my thoughts on this thing. There's no TDP on this that I know. I mean, there is one somewhere, but who knows? No technical data package, so who knows what they did here. There's a guy named Jeff, I forget, who was manufacturing these, and a very beautiful kit. Jeff R. I'm sorry, guy, I forget your first names. But he's on YouTube here, and he was making these. I don't know where he is now, what he's doing. Backordered, or he stopped, or what. But I decided, you know what, I got the shop. Let me just put the time in. So I got the rod and the tube drilled or milled into the receiver. It's pinned. You can't quite see the pinhole, but there's a spring pin in there, and here's some cut down A1s. I don't know if they had the tapered slip ring at this year or not. I had it on my A1, so maybe they did. I also had it on my XM, which of course was after this, but I don't know. But anyhow, it's fitted into the triangular plate for the forward handguard plate. Again, cheating. I don't want to go SBR in the paperwork. NFA, no, stay out of my life. So this is a reverse flash suppressor silencer. It's a copy of one of the, I believe, Marine contract suppressors. But it's a slip over, so the barrel muzzle is out here. And I want to make it look like the, what were these? 14 and a half or 11? I'm at a loss. But whatever, if this was the true thing, this suppressor would be back here by an inch. Again, for an inch or an inch and a half, kill me. Again, demo time. Don't, we could go hundreds of dollars and months into this project in addition to what we've done, just to make a point. So, again, it's for demo purposes only. Here's a split butt plate with the switch. You can't see, well, you see part of the switch here that locks this open or closed. Let's close it. There it is, closed. It's the Colt 607 closed. That would be handy in the jungle, babe. I'm telling you. You walk around with that at your side, carrying it by the handle, carrying it at port arms. Open it, close it. Open it, close it. Isn't that fun? It's really a nothing special looking version of something on the AR platform. There was a lot of engineering and thought and to make. The thing is, when this is out and you flip the switch to lock it, you don't want any play in here. So all the tolerances have to be 0, line to line. And doing that with a fiberglass stock that's filled, if you look at my other video, you can see how I made this. This is filled with insulating foam, the kind you can dig out with your fingernails. This stock is nothing more than a fiber light shell, they call their trademark, in a hard rubber butt pad. That's it. Ain't no more. And of course the foam. So I had to reprocess that, refoam it, and then when you close it, I said close it. Thank you. That's Louis, my helper here. He's not so good. I think Louis had a martini already today. You don't want any slop here when it's closed. You close it, you lock the latch back here, and you don't want this making noise. So, okay, that's that. Moving on, Bob. You're going way long. How about an M4? Well, we started with the 605, 607. The M17 E2 followed. These are the carbine chain of command, or growth. What came after that? Well, they figured out they could take the 177 E2, they can come up with a thing called the M4, which has a lot of A4 stuff on it, and 177 E2 stuff. A Gen 3 or 4, depending on how you want to classify them. Stock. This is either 5 or 6 positions instead of 2. A4 flat top with a take-off carry handle, turn 2 screws, throw it away. Red dot, if you could mount it on here, you'll find out that these A4 sights will co-witness with this. So you can look through your iron sights, through this being off, saving the battery, and you can still see through the clear lens right out through the front sight. Again, I cheated. No 14 3/4 or 11. I don't know if they never did 11. So I put a reverse flash hider on here to lie about it. The muzzle's here, and it should be over here. 203 notch. Drop-in handguards, they're not floating. Little Atlas guy here, A2 grip, correct lower, correct upper, blah, blah, blah. There you go. We got a little plug-in sling swivel sockets. And not much more to be said. The M4 is still around. There's a lot of them out there. A lot of people love them. A lot of people using them. All right, let's move on. We go from, and remember now, here was the A4. And, you see the lineage here? Put collapsible stock on it, shorten the barrel, move the gas port back, still have drop-in handguards. There's not a lot of difference, right? All right, moving along. Where could you take it from here? God only knows. Oh, how about a Mark 12? Well, there's a lot of history to this. There are civilian companies. Thank God the Ordnance Department is pretty much out of designing weapons. And you got people like Knights and Daniel and all the other ones, Colt, FN. Hello, FN. Which are not, they're now Americans, actually. That's okay. And there are dozens and dozens of iterations of the stupid Mark 12. I was collecting photographs offline of the Mark 12. And I'm telling you, depending on where you go and who you talk to and which armory they went to and which company made them and which outfit ordered them and what unit they went to and are they SOCOM or are they Army, are they Marines, you can get, I'm guessing, thousands, literally, of permutations and iterations of this stupid thing. This is my iteration, as I'm going to call it, the Mark 12 Mod 99. There's a video on my YouTube channel, Gun Dr. Bob. That's my promotion, Gun Dr. Bob. How can you forget that? I don't remember where I got this stock. I got that quite a while ago. It's a beautifully made, it's polymer. It's a very good composite, whatever that polymer formulation is. I literally hammered this with a big old heavy leather hammer. I think I have 3 of those, and I wasn't afraid to crack it, and I didn't. Big heavy rubber butt pad. If you hit this little tiny switch here in the crotch, butt pad slides off. You can stick batteries down in here for your optic if you have a battery optic. The comb goes up. There's a cheek riser with 2 thumb screws, one on each side. Very comfortable. This is very smooth, rattle-free, beautiful. Machining and tolerances here. I should say molding, beautiful molding. I added a short piece of 1913 pick rail here and put on a monopod. This is actually a forward grip. But I took it apart and I added in here, I don't know if I can I zoom a little bit? Let's see if we can zoom. There. I added a 3/8 bolt, all nitrided, with a nut up here. It's epoxied in with steel-based epoxy. This is a rubber foot on the bolt that's molded on. That's, I forget some, not Neo, Buna in rubber that's actually molded onto the head of the bolt. Very durable. Here are 2 thumb nuts that are knurled. You could barely make them out. So you can unscrew this. You can add from the bottom of the monopod, you can add 1 3/4 inches, almost 2 inches. More than enough. And then of course you can lock the position with the jam nuts. So that was my addition to the design. We're A4 here. This is a fixed gas block, low profile. I'm going to get the Superlative Arms, I believe it is. They have a gas block that has either bypass or flow control. So if you're going to put a can on here or something, or you want to change, severe environment blowback and all that, you can do that by turning the screw. But the feature they have that other people don't, that I know of, is that they have a bypass position where you can, instead of controlling how much gas you have coming back, you can control how much gas you're bleeding off out into the air. Interesting concept. I don't know why somebody didn't think of that earlier, but yeah, there will be one on here. I've created here's a ring. There's a video on this ring that secures that. It also protects it against bumps and things. You don't want to be slamming this into a rock or a tree or something. So that will forever never move. And also in that video, there's a ring behind the gas tube that protects the little 1/2 or 3/4 of an inch of gas tube that's exposed between the handguard and the gas block. You can't see it in this view, but if you go to that video, it's all explained there. Floating handguards, no longer drop-in, because now we're into the new generation, the new millennium of ARs. You can't have drop-ins no more. You got to have floating handguards. Fake, because I wanted to cheat on the barrel length. No SBR. That's actually, you know what? That's a 20-inch. And I did that because I wanted full velocity. I want to get up to 3,000 feet per second. And I want to push those green tips hard. I don't know what's so good about a 16-inch barrel on all the newer firearms. You give up some very valuable velocity figures like 26, 2700 out when you could be getting that for free. You're just throwing it away. For 4 inches of barrel, I'm not so sure. Unless you're doing CQB, CQC, then you're busting down doors in Taliban territory. I don't know. That's a personal choice, I guess. I threw a scope on it. A2, A4 lower, 4th Jenny billet upper. Only because I had it, and why not? It's the new generation. So there you have it. I mean, it's going to be a good MDR. If you're the guy in the squad who is the marksman, you know what that is. You know what an MDR is. That's the difference between a guy who has a main battle rifle, like an A4 or an M4, and the guy who has an M24 and he's a genuine official Olympic model sniper. That's what an MDR guy is. So why not give him the best he could have? I mean, the poor guy's under pressure. Say, "Oh, call in the MDR. There's 13 guys in the squad. Get that guy over here." Why? There's a guy in the tree line. We need you to look at him. All right. Give him a decent scope. Give him a nice, comfortable stock that's adjustable. You can get with the cheek riser. He could put the monopod down if it takes a while for him to spot a muzzle flash out there on the tree line. He's going to be peeking through this for a while, maybe. Give him a bipod. The government could afford it. And now he's not a sniper. He's not a main battle rifleman, grunt infantry guy. He's something a little bit special. And he's a little closer to the sniper MOS. So give him a break. That's my philosophy. So the Mark 12, no, Mark 12, Mod 99. I got no other excuse. All right, let's move on. We just talked about CQB. Here we go. Guys, if I'm going to be kicking indoors, that's my pup right there. I want that thing. I want that piece of nylon around my neck. I had to go again. NFA, ATF. This is a blade brace. That is not a stock, and it's fixed. See the obligatory and requisite Velcro thing here? Sling for carrying it to and from the range. This is a 12-inch, 1-7 bird cage. 10-inch quad rails. I do not, we'll get into this later, I guess, but I do not favor M-locks, and key mods are kind of history, but M-lock, I don't, as a gunsmith and an engineer, I got to tell you, or a designer, I should say, I don't see M-lock passing mil-spec requirements. I'm sure it can. Maybe it has. Maybe it already has, and I'm crazy. But I don't see the durability factor and certainly the interchangeability factor. I've had problems with those things camming out to the right position. and I've had problems with them locking up. If you're sitting at home on your couch and you're putting it on, fine. If you're out in the field and sorry, that was an important interruption. Um, I don't know. That's just my feeling. I think, if you're going to do mil spec stuff and you're designing and building things that have to be soldier proof. I remember a guy, he lives across the street, he's a Marine. He said, all those rifles have to be Marine proof. I said, yeah, well, we found that out in Fort Dix in advanced infantry training. You got to be soldier proof too. My first M14, I had it for a few days and I busted the stock, the walnut stock. I guess it's walnut, maybe birch. You do the run and hide thing when you're out on patrol and you hit an ambush, and we were doing that exercise. There's a guy out on the tree line with a 30 caliber. I think 1984, I guess it was, firing blanks. And when he opens up, you got to be aware of your surroundings and what your next cover is going to be. And I saw this little clump of bush up ahead of me, and I'm patrolling and I'm scanning my field of fire, the kill zone. And he opens up. So I made my leap. I probably went 8 or 10 feet through the air and landed in the prescribed manner on my left rib cage, rolling over to my right side using the toe part of the butt, not the heel, to break the last part of my fall and snap. The M14 broke off right at the pistol grip. Apparently, the instructors were aware of this, and it was maybe not a regular thing, but it wasn't abnormal. And they sent me over to the armory, and the armory looked at it, and the guy gave me that kind of smirk, and he handed me an M14 that had a fiberglass stock. It was the most ugly color of brown, tan, OD mixed together. Smooth, but not glossy. And I never broke that. So, and plus, it wasn't wood. It wasn't going to change shape and dimension with weather and humidity and all that stuff. So, anyhow, that was part of the learning process for the government, and that brings me right back to the M-LOK. I don't see the M-LOK being that soldier-proof durable, but hey, if I'm wrong, I'm wrong. It's like I said, it's a new millennium, new century. How do you do that? You get a new century and a new millennium on the same day. So we went for stainless. Look at that. Hammer, trigger, other parts in there, stainless. The hard parts are still high carbon steel. Flip-ups. Guess what, guys? They co-witness with the red dot. In this case, the co-witness, now this is interesting, and I found that out by accident, is at the bottom. If you look at the horizontal line that you'd have across your vision of the through the red dot, there's a vertical and a horizontal in the crosshairs. These co-witness just below the horizontal, and I figured out that's a good thing, because when you're looking through a scope, looking at a tree line, looking for the muzzle flashes, looking for the movement, looking for the bad guys, almost invariably you're using the top half of the scope. I don't know if you ever noticed that, but the next time you're at the range, check it out. When you're looking downrange to spot your shots through your scope, I'll bet you're looking through the top above the stadia, the horizontal stadia. Maybe not. Maybe it's just me. But anyhow, they do co-witness. That's fine. If you're going to go door busting, that would be my baby, except it would be an SBR, not a pistol. This ATF, if you're watching, I've read all the regs. No vertical grip. This is fixed. It's permanently attached. I got a dummy adjuster on here so people think that it's collapsible like a 177 stock. It is not. That does nothing. A2, I would change that, but hey, that's not my choice. I mean, well, it is, but it isn't. And swingable, carryable, portable, and full auto. Not burst, please. No bursts. That would be my choice. All right. We're getting real long, and here we go. You know what? This is the teaser. Let me start here. M27, Bob's version. I gotta go quick. I'm piling up time. The Colt IAR version. There's an FN version. There's other people. I don't want to get into that very quickly. If this is going to be like an SAW, squad automatic weapon, or a LMG, light machine gun, it could be either. And you've got 30 or 40 rounds, or maybe they arrange for a 100-round drum or something. I don't know. Anything but belt feed, please. I carried a pig. I know what an M16. I know why they call it a pig. I'm going to get letters about this, but I think we're out of the belt feed era. I really do. You give me a 40-round magazine, and I'm going to supply you with suppressive firepower with a very short break between magazine changes. I don't need a 100-round belt when I could give you 80 rounds at the same time. You can argue with me. That's personal. Hey, we all live under the First Amendment, right? I wish this showed it better. This is a flat top, flat bottom machine gun type. I forget what pattern this is called. It's a compensator. It's a muzzle brake plus flash hider. Very heavy steel. It's very good at venting backwards, and it's very good at killing the fireball. This barrel is special. It's 3/4 beyond the 750 type, beyond the gas block. It's a standard 750 gas block. From there back, it's 1 inch. Now, when they say 1 inch, they're actually talking about 987 or 960 something. But they are 1 inch barrel blanks. And they actually do a cleanup cut, which makes them a little bit smaller. But that's about as heavy a barrel as you're ever going to get. It's 20 inches. I didn't go 22 because I don't see any benefit with a green tip. Green tips probably max out at 20 or 21. I may be wrong. Somebody write me if I'm wrong. But I'm up near 3,000 FPS. I'm doing fine. Free floater is just past the block. I don't want it all the way out here. I just want to protect the gas block. Colt put a very fancy heat sink in here that's clamped to the barrel. I have my version. I don't have a TDP on it. And from pictures, I kind of designed their heat shield. I don't have the contouring here and here that they had. I thought that was just unnecessary whitewash, to make it look better. Maybe I will someday. Maybe I have another thought. You could always, everything unscrews. You could change it. A2, guys, I like the stability or the feel. It may be fooling me, but I just like the way this feels over a telescopic stock. It just feels better. Magpul type down here, much better grip. Feels much better in your hand. And if you're going to be firing a lot of rounds at, 700 rounds a minute or whatever, this is going to be nice. This is nice to hold on to. I got the rubber inserts, the ladder inserts on here. Carry handle, fixed sights on risers, and let's go to the other view. Look at that side. Did I show you that was side charging? Right here. Okay. And a plug back here. That's movable. It's not a fixed handle, and I like it that way. I don't like forward assist, but it's nice to know that you could control the bolt, do a sneak peek in the chamber, and so forth. So I would rather have reciprocating. Or you could do both. You could modify that little finger thing to be both. There's ways to do that. Here's this side of it. Same thing. Again, I wish I had a better picture of the... I wish I could remember... Anybody remembers those flat top compensators? I don't know. The mind wobbles, as Kelly Bundy would say. And the end. Now, what's M27? Well, could be squad automatic weapon. Could be a light machine gun. If you're up in your Huey or your Cobra or whatever Blackhawk, and you drop a bungee down from the door frame, there's provisions to hook it onto the handle. This is an FN handle, by the way. Don't holler at me. It's FN. Really nicely made handle. I made the mount. You could bungee that up to the doorway, and now you're a door gunner, because guess what? I made aircraft sights. Yeah, you could shoot down low-flying aircraft. If the Russians send in a deployment helicopter before the guys have a chance to get off, you could put a few rounds into the rotor head and knock it out of the sky. Here's a better shot of that flash hider. I guess I'm obsessed with that thing. And you can see part of the heat sink in here to the barrel. And of course the shield, the hand-formed, hand-drilled shield. Gen 4 upper, Gen 2 or 3 lower, whatever you want to call that. I guess Gen 2. Here's the fun. Oh, A2 here with the trapdoor. Nothing fancy, really reliable. And again, the Magpul. I shoved a rod down the barrel, and I had to get a center line of what the bullet does when it comes out, because I wanted to take a measurement up to where this is. And you see, that's a folding, that's a flip-up mount here and here. And I took the flip-up mounts apart, and if you look here, you can see when it's not deployed, here's a flip-up mount. It's laying just nice in that cavity between the sight and the mount. This hangs over here behind the handle, so that's fairly well protected. Those flip up and lock in place. But what I had to do was get the dimension from here to the center of that hole in order to build this addition to the flip up. And looking at green tip bullet ballistics, figure out I wanted this calibrated. It is calibrated in 1, 3, 5, and 700 meters. I didn't want to go more than 700 meters because, well, you know, we're 223. What's the 5.56 doing out at 700? All right, you're good to 1,000, but you could do that with Kentucky windage. Just look over the top of it or something. I don't know. But it took a little bit of math to come up with the angular displacement in the arc and the ballistics to get these holes, and you can just barely see the little holes in here. The top one's a notch, the others are holes, and again they're marked 1, 3, 5, and 7. This is the FN handle that falls down out of place, falls nicely to the side. I don't know if that's shown in here. Well, there you can't see it. And there you can't. Oh, there it is. It's hidden. Folded down right into the side here, out of the way of everybody. All right, gang, that's it. I don't know if I want to show this or not. That's the author. That's Dr. Bob, and I'm explaining at that point what a 203 is. People have heard of them. And I'm explaining something I never got to fire in Vietnam. I fired its older brother, 79, but not that. And I did fire that with flares. You can buy these stupid flares that come out, and they have bird busters and sparklers or something. I don't know. And they cost you about $10 a piece to shoot a thing about 200 feet in the air. But that's yours truly at the Academy. So, once again, I want to thank everybody for spending a lifetime here on this video. Be well, stay perfect, and if you like all this stuff, thumbs up, join, recommend, and tell everybody what a great guy I am. Be kind in the comments. Again, this is just a demo. We like to just indicate what each model is all about. They're not clones in the sake of clones in the name of that word. They are reasonable representations, and we put a lot of work into this. And it's going to be a good service to the community up there. They're wall hangers. They're going to be able to walk through it. I can point out all the differences. Then we can take them off the wall. We can go out to the range and we can make a lot of noise. They're all shootable. They're all zeroed, and I'm tired. I think it's lunchtime, and the coffee's really, really cold. Stay perfect, gang. It's Bob, your gun doctor.